It's currently 11:25 p.m. Dad picked me up today sometime around 8. p.m. Right before he came, I packed some extra clothes, my marker satchel, and my thick wallet, since I know at one point today Mom mentioned that she would like me to bring that. And my computer bag, which is where I store this laptop on which I'm working on the 99 Dan Hamming episode. I'm currently working on I went into UB3, the raw video file where the new broken window glass prop is needed. I'm currently using the scene with using the original old leaving the first scene that needs the new window prop, broken glass, as is, to use it as a reference. I added a new scene, which is what I'll be using, new scene right after the reference scene, in order to ensure that I get the new broken glass window prop. But at this point, it's actually just an interior view, an expanded interior view of the convenience store. I'm currently adjusting it so it looks just like an expanded view of the interior without any distortion, or at least as little distortion as possible. And not too long ago, Dad showed me how to make coffee out of one of those Keurig pods using the Keurig a coffee machine that he has in the kitchen area. It had me push the option for 10 fluid ounces. And an option to make the coffee extra strong. I'm not sure how the machine does it, but it does it. Also, at some point today, after I had finished the Aaron Rodgers polystyrene drawing, I finished that drawing at 3:02 p.m. today. Even though I don't think the sun starts to set until around 7 p.m. these days, it was still pretty dark around 3 p.m. Because today was an overcast day. As for my current plans, I brought with me this piece of styrofoam. Oh yeah, that's a paper from a sort of template for a t-shirt design contest that the post office doing, Dad's place of work. Initially, this made me have thoughts of making 2 polystyrene drawings of mail carriers, one a Caucasian male and the other a dark-skinned male. Yeah, but it took me a while to understand, but apparently you're just supposed to draw on the paper, the t-shirt outlines provided by the paper, which oddly has elementary school vibes. I remember back then we did assignments like that. I recall around 4:30 p.m. I had the king shrimp poke salad that Mom and I got during a Wegmans shopping trip. About a week or so ago. I woke up too late to really walk to Wendy's to take advantage of the breakfast coupons they gave me. I got up around 11 in the morning. I think there was a point in which I woke up at 8:30 in the morning, but then I went back to bed. I think that may have something to do with the fact that I went to bed around 4:35 in the morning. Right before Dad came, I had my stuff packed and I decided to look around my garage, the garage of Mom's house, in order to go look for containers I could return for a deposit. I figured that way I could better wait for Dad to come. I think I did this for about 10 or so minutes before Dad came. I've been spending the past day or so upgrading this particular workshop to around this level. Not that this particular upgrade has taken a day or two, it's just been a series of upgrades. What I intend to do with that styrofoam piece is to do another drawing of Santa Claus, since I believe someone on Dad's side of the family has commissioned that. In terms of finishing the Aaron Rodgers drawing, after I finished the details of the winter knit hat, primarily during the first hours of today, but then finishing that part in the early afternoon, all I had left to do at that point was to do the hair and facial hair for the sides and back of the face. Finishing the winter knit hat involved doing the text, the Packers text, on the back of the hat. For some reason, I gradually did each letter shorter than the last, to the point where the S in Packers is significantly shorter than the P in Packers. And maybe that's due to me focusing on having consistent spacing for the Packers text and making sure to give myself enough room, taking up enough space so that I've filled the back and a bit of the sides of the hat, but not so much space that it would end up bleeding into the midlines of the hat, the line across each side of the hat, and then I think for the black lines I made to show patterning on the hat, I think it's actually more dense than it actually is, than I actually depicted it. But if I did it as, I was afraid that if I did it as dense as it really was, then the green parts of the hat wouldn't be mostly green. As for the yellow part, it technically has lines too, but these lines aren't really visible from a distance like the lines are for the green parts. So that ultimately explains why I did what I did in terms of the winter knit hat. These are some of the Sharpie markers that Dad got at Target the other day. Though I didn't get to see them in person until today, when I got to his apartment unit. He said that he got them for a pretty good deal. I think it was something like 2 of these sets for either $14 total or $14 each, based on my recollection, but it was a pretty good deal, and based on what I've seen so far, it looks like a pretty good collection of colors. And by $14 each, I mean for each one of these, not for each set of 2 that I showed earlier. And the each is the one that's more likely. Either way, it's still a pretty good deal on Sharpie markers.